Mixing solvents with enamels, with alkyds, with turpentine base, white spirit base and acrylics, it creates its own degree of conflict on the canvas in terms of who's going to succeed. That's the only place the competition can arise, is actually on the canvas itself. So when you see an acrylic paint battling with an oil-based paint and succeeding, because the sinews just go everywhere, whereas an oil base over an acrylic, it'll obliterate it. You put it the other way around and the acrylic moves through the paint. Put that with an enamel, the enamel then will dry and it then fractures the oil based. So it's just experimenting with different types of paint. It might be the same colour, and often it is, but it creates a texture within that paint and an unpredictable outcome. The abstract is composed, and it's composed out of necessity because you've got to have the thoughts of the layers. All those colours and all those materials, they've got synergy with each other. Everything is part to bring together this image that I'm looking to create. Even the expressionism work, when you actually dissect it, and I've told people not to dissect my work, it is layers. Those layers only act as a foundation though. And if you really want to study my pieces, either now or going forward, it's that last layer that you need to study. Because it's that layer that has the dynamics, has the movement, and has the playfulness in terms of mixing, promoting and making something evolve. So the expressionism is my expression of me. Just see it as it is. There's no boundaries, there's no borders, there's no shapes. If you want to see shapes, those shapes are created from experiments and teasing the canvas, nothing more. There's two aspects really being the rewarding part of creating. It's tearing off the masking tape to frame the piece after it's been created. That is most rewarding. It's a private moment, and those are the moments when I won't necessarily say I do a bit of a jig or a dance, but I'll tell you one thing, you get very, very emotional pulling off that masking tape because it's a private moment, and it's the first time you actually frame the piece and you're the first viewer. The next time is when you actually show it to somebody, and as long as you're watching their eyes, that's what delights. What articulates out of the mouth is another matter, but it's what they see. You see the iris, you see the pupil, and there is delight there. There's never flinching, but it's the delight. It's when somebody really smiles at a piece. But yeah, those are the two things that come from the art. It's the very, very personal perspective, pulling off the masking tape, and then actually showing it to your viewer. I don't need to be a rich artist in terms of, when I say rich, commercially successful. My richness of being an artist will be recognised when I walk down the street. And if I see a stiffy in a living room and it's my stiffy, happy days. And that's what I want. That's a richness to me. Now whether people like it or not is another matter, but it's a journey for me. And yeah, if it's not successful, which I doubt it will not be not successful, and that's a double negative, it'll be a laugh. And that's what I want to do. I want to bring people on and work with me to enjoy what I do. If you don't like my art and you don't like me, all I would say is that you're not really ready for me yet. And the day will come when you'll see my art and you'll see me in the street and you'll recognise me as an artist. You'll recognise me as stiffy. You'll recognise me as being a little bit boyish, a little bit mischievous. And that to me is when I've succeeded.